This podcast episode is sponsored by Palumbo and Bertrand, attorneys at law.
Good day, seniors and active adults. Welcome back to our YouTube podcast, Get Your Weekly Slice, where we protect, inform, and educate you, our seniors and active adults, every week about what you should know as you age. It is about keeping you, our seniors, in the know. This is part 4 of my podcast, Senior Scams, and it's going to be a recap of part 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to share some or have a real conversation with you about some things that I have seen locally that has happened here that can happen anywhere. So I just want you to kind of be aware when I give those examples of what can happen to you as a senior or active adult. So I always remember a long time ago when I first started my Smarter Senior Seminar series, and I would ask or pose the question to my audience, and usually the audience was average 25 people at each one of my events. And I would ask them, what is your biggest concern that you have as you age? And a majority of them responded that they were always afraid of being taken advantage of. So it kind of fits what my seminar series is all about when you're talking about protecting, informing, and educating seniors and active adults. The bottom line is it's about them being proactive as opposed to reactive. But again, it's all about protecting them. And as I have stated in the 1, 2, or 3 parts of this series, that there's going to be more people who are going to be living longer, who are aging, living longer, and that is going to bring out more scammers or people who want to take advantage of the senior demographic. So I'm going to give you a couple examples, and one was kind of hit home because it was in the area that I live, which was a townhome community here in Orlando. And it was an elderly couple. They lived in a townhome, and with most people, a majority of seniors, they always want to try and stay home if they possibly can. And I get it. We as certified senior housing professionals get it. But you have to understand that the longer you wait, and if your health is declining, the more difficult it becomes for you to choose that right community, be it independent, assisted, and or memory care, because of the condition of your declining health. So again, we get it. You want to stay home. And then there are ways that you can stay home, still live there, but there's outside sources that are going to need to be needed. Well, in this particular case, they were given the name of this caregiver. The only problem with this caregiver or the referral that they received from a friend was that the caregiver was self-employed, independent, not licensed, not background checked. So therefore, those are all kinds of strikes against that type of individual coming into your home, building trust and taking care of you. So this particular couple did not have family local, but they had a niece who always checked on them 2, 3, maybe 4 times a year, if not more. And they thought everything was okay because they had a caregiver. The niece and husband had met the caregiver over time, but they got a startling call one day from the aunt screaming, "Get us out of here." So immediately the niece and the husband packed up the car and drove to Orlando to check on her aunt and uncle and to find out what the emergency was, why there was an immediate need for them to come down. Well, as they were down here, they discovered that both their aunt and uncle were in depends 24 hours a day. They were somewhat incoherent, and after further discovery, figured out that this caregiver had switched their doctors here in the Orlando area, and they put them or had them on medication that somewhat duped them 24 hours a day. So she was really engineering, the caregiver was engineering their demise or their decline in health by working with this group of doctors or medical group where they changed over all of their records, and then they changed their medications to fit the needs of what they were trying to accomplish. So after further research, they had found out that the aunt and uncle, who they trusted as caregiver, understandably, but what they didn't know was is that they had authorized and got her a credit card at Walmart so she could go there whenever needed to get the incidentals for their household. And then they paid the bill every month, which was presented to them by the caregiver. And so understand that what they found out was is that she was getting the incidentals for them at their house, but also getting incidentals for her household and other things that did not have to do with the aunt and the uncle. So as they did a deep dive and went through the records, they discovered that this caregiver took them to the tune of about $90,000. And when all is said and done, they moved the aunt and uncle out of the area, took them up to where they lived. But they discovered once they got up there, it was difficult because of the records, the medical records being transferred. It was difficult for them to get their parent or her aunt and uncle into any type of independent assisted living community in the area that they lived. And they also were confronted via phone call by the caregiver. As brazen as she was, she wanted money that she felt was due to her, $6,000. And she also wanted them to write a testimonial about what a great job she did for the aunt and uncle. And absolutely, they did not do this. So that's one thing that you need to be cognizant of. And that's what I do and Alba does as certified senior housing professionals. We have built a network of trusted resources and services with licensed, if possible, background. Keep in mind, both Alba and I are background checked on an annual basis, and you're not going to find hardly any real estate agents that are background checked. So I want you to keep that in mind, that we have the resources that we can refer you to. We get paid no referral fees. It's all about connecting and having the right network where we all feel the same way, that we want to take care of you, our seniors and active adults, and we have the passion to help you with any living arrangements that are needed to keep you at home, or if we need to help you find a place to move or transition to. So I want you to know that we're here, and we're specifically here to protect, inform, and educate you as seniors and active adults. Now, the other thing I want to share with you is, and one has to do with an AC company. There was a TV station here in the Orlando area, and what they did was is they set up a sting operation. So, believe it or not, the company they chose to come in there is the company that I use or refer seniors and active adults to when they have AC issues. And I use them because they're a trusted organization. And this TV company or news channel doing the sting hired them to do a maintenance check on the AC and found out that everything was okay with the AC. So what they did was is they had the homeowner call three different companies, and they all came in. One said that they needed Freon added. One said they needed a mold system added, and one said they needed their system replaced. So when they were confronted by the TV station representative, confronted the AC companies, they all said that those were things that they felt were needed to be done. And they called them out on the carpet and said that they were trying to take advantage of these people, this couple, because they were seniors. And of course, they denied it. But the bottom line is, it makes me feel good that of all the AC companies here in Orlando area, and I specifically like to do companies that just focus on one item. If they're electrical, that's what they do. If they're air conditioning, that's what they do and only do. If they're plumbing, that's what they do and that's what they only do. Not a technician that comes out that's supposed to be well versed in both electrical, AC, and plumbing. That doesn't get it. So that was always been my MO, is to try and get those individual companies like that. And I can faithfully say that I have gotten the best of the best out there. When this company was approached, that I refer out by the radios or by the TV station to do this sting, and then found out the three companies that the homeowner called all were trying to upcharge him or scam him. And then there was an electrical, used the electrical company that I used, and what ended up being was a lady had an electrical issue, and this goes back several years ago. But needless to say, she got the company's name out of the phone book. I don't think there's very many phone books out there anymore, but you get the picture. So she called them. They came. The gentleman lied to her, told her what his name was, which wasn't really his name. The name of the company was indeed the name of the company. And when all was said and done, this gentleman said that the outlet that she wanted repaired, it was because there were issues with her electrical system in her house. Well, he requested and she provided an amount of money, gave it to him, and then she never seen him. And then she had a couple other people working with him, and they would come sparingly at their convenience, do an hour or 2 hours, and they achieved doing nothing. But then the main contact ended up telling her that he noticed as he was checking the wiring and checking the house that she had a foundation problem and there was going to be, more money. Long story short, she finally, the homeowner, had a friend or a neighbor come over there, confront this gentleman, and this gentleman, they never seen hide nor hair from him again. So, in further research and follow up with the police, this gentleman, electrical contractor, supposedly not licensed, not insured, shared with them, or ended up getting close to $20,000 out of this lady, and nothing was ever done. So the reason why I want to share this story is because the electrical company that I refer out, again, no referrals, no referral fees from either one of us. But this company, what they ended up doing, they went in there, took care of the problems, which were minimal at best, and did not charge that homeowner because she was already out of pocket over $20,000. So I share these stories because I want you to understand that they're all out there, even if they're 3 to 5 years old. They're going to happen, and they're going to happen more frequently as time goes on because we're living longer and there's going to be more people out there trying to scam. And what also was disturbing about the electrical situation was that individual was running from 2 other states that he had scammed people, seniors, or exploited them in other states. And I'm going to give you one last. It was outside of the Orlando area, and it was a lady who was paid $20 an hour, 40 hours a week, and she was a caregiver. And then when the lady passed, this goes back to 2019, when the lady passed that she was taking care of, who paid her $800 a month to do things for her, to be a caregiver of sorts, who was not licensed, who was not certified. The day after she passed, a red alert went up because she extracted $90,000 out of one of her accounts. When the alert went up, the state's attorney's office, or the attorney general's office, with the help of the police force of that area, started investigating this person, and they put her under arrest. And when it was all said and done, over a 5 to 6 year period of time, she ended up scamming that lady who passed unknowingly about what this caregiver was doing to her. The caregiver scammed her out of $1.1 million. So keep those in thought. It's hard to trust anybody out there, but again, I'm going to share with you what I do as a certified senior housing professional, real estate person, a real estate agent. And there's a lot of real estate agents that do not do what I do. I am just a few. And we're trying to get the numbers built up to help prevent people from getting taken advantage of. So what I have designed is the seminars to protect, inform, and educate, have seniors become more proactive than reactive. So if you or any one of your friends, family that you know of could use our help, please contact us. We're here available in Orange County, Osceola County, Seminole County, and the eastern part of Lake County, and are more than willing to help where we can in other counties in the state of Florida. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out. You've got my phone number. You could go to my website where you can see all of my podcasts in regards to senior living options, senior scams, legal, etc. And I hope you've enjoyed them, and I hope you keep top of mind and more cognizant of what's going on around you. But like Ronald Reagan said, trust but verify. In closing, I hope you enjoyed today's Get Your Weekly Slice. If you'd like to discuss further today's topic, you can reach me via email at mike@your, Y-O-U-R, Florida, spelled out, Haven, Haven.com, or call me at 407-340-5291 to set up an appointment. I provide a free 1.5 hour in-person meeting to discuss your future plans on aging while providing you a minimum of 3 options to choose from. Don't forget to follow us and like us on Facebook and Instagram. While on my website at yourfloridahaven.com, sign up for my monthly newsletter, RSV to any of my in-person events, which are held at the Orange County Library, Smarter Senior Seminar Series events, and to view any and all of my videos and podcasts. We hope these podcasts are helpful, and if they are, please share with your friends, family, and neighbors by letting them know what we offer as certified senior housing professionals, designated real estate agents, to our seniors and active adults as they age. We're a connector. It is about keeping seniors in the know. Till next time, when you come back to get your weekly slice.
This podcast episode is sponsored by Palumbo and Bertrand, attorneys at law.